is the start of the day. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the No Niche Podcast, where you can find your home for nothing in particular. We're going to talk about everything. My name is Gus, and I'm joined by.
Houston.
You might notice that as this goes further and further, our voices will progressively get deeper.
Yeah. On this podcast, we have no idea what we're doing because neither do you. Probably.
We're just here to sit and talk. You're just here to listen.
And don't talk. You're not allowed.
Yeah, please don't. I won't hear you.
Neither will I.
Today we will be talking about
Some things about us.
we will be talking about Wait, what was that one movie that released recently? That I
Not
wanted to
Wicked?
get Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. We'll talk about that. I haven't seen it. I'm watching it
Oh,
tomorrow.
I haven't seen it either. I'm excited to see it
It
though.
looks really good.
Yeah, anything by
Robbie.
Robert Eager. Yeah.
Roger Ebert. Love
Yeah.
that man.
One absolute Chad of a man.
Roger Ebert or Robert Eggers?
Robert Eggers.
Okay, yeah.
But also Willem Dafoe.
True. He's
Yeah.
in that. I forgot he was in that.
He is. He's in so much lately.
A lot of good stuff, too.
Yeah. But, like, his career has been picking up.
Yeah,
For a legendary actor, you don't really see that a lot.
yeah. I
Since-
mean, he's in. What is he in before, like, the 2000s? Because he was this main villain of Spider-Man, but I don't know if
He was in a lot of serious stuff.
Yeah,
Like, cops. I feel like he played a cop a lot.
yeah. American Psycho, he's in that. He's very good in that as a detective, right?
Yeah, he's like a detective in everything, and then he
He's
got his
great at-
big break. We all know what I'm talking about. Spider-Man.
Yeah, sure.
And he went into comedy for like just the briefest stint, and most people know him for that, really. But
Yeah,
serious actor.
yeah. I mean, what is he in? Is he in any Coen Brothers movies? He feels like he should definitely be in some of those, but I feel like I'm thinking of maybe William H. Macy. They have kind of similar vibes in my book. I mean, they don't because Willem Dafoe's
Yeah.
insane, but
Willem Dafoe is just one of those crazy guys that like you could see anywhere,
yeah,
like completely typeless as far as casting goes. You could tell me that he's doing like the Dutch Woman next week, and I would be like, yeah, that
like he's
checks out.
playing a Dutch woman.
Yeah, yeah. Like you know the one where Cillian Murphy, the Danish girl.
Oh, I think is that Cillian Murphy? I thought that was the other guy who's in Les Miserables and stuff.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Cillian Murphy.
I can't think of his name, so I can't really. The Fantastic Beasts guy. E starts with an E.
Oh, you know what? It might be him.
I think it's Edward, but I have no idea. It doesn't matter. This guy
Yeah.
doesn't matter. He doesn't matter.
No, I mean I kind of like his work, but
Uh,
I know that Cillian Murphy has played a woman in
Has he?
something. Yeah.
I'd believe it.
Mm.
He's the kind of guy.
But I could see.
Nothing against those people.
Oh my God, you're getting us canceled our first episode, Houston.
My apologies.
The point is, Willem Dafoe could go out, play a woman. He would absolutely destroy Oscar, probably.
He's the reverse.
It would be in black and white.
Tilda Swinton. Oh, sure.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I think so. Can be absolutely serious, and then one week he's just in Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Or is Tilda Swinton in that?
No, Willem Dafoe is.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's amazing in that.
Yeah, he's really good in that.
He's-
That prosthetic on his head.
Yeah, it looks crazy. Like, I wonder how much of that was real. I assume all of it. I mean, the prosthetic
Oh,
at
it all
least.
had to be practical. Whenever they switched to stop motion,
It's so fun.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Was it just the worm? Like, what else was there?
Whenever they were explaining the dad's
Oh!
death, it just made a full switch to stop motion for like 4 minutes.
Was that the part where it was like the not Lucio Fulci, the old horror director? I can't think of the name of the black and white Italian stuff.
No, that's a different part.
Okay,
Because they were just having fun on that
that's
set.
a good movie.
I-
Yeah,
Such a fun watch. But
It's not like a traditionally good movie, but it's a really you can tell everyone had a great time, and it's so
oh yeah,
experimental and fun.
I, I had one of the best times watching it.
Yeah.
I will say though, because for context, the actor that played the father in the original Beetlejuice,
Oh, that part.
not the ghost dad, but um, like the stepfather basically character, the actor himself died.
And also was a pedophile.
Yeah, and also
I'm pretty sure.
not a good guy. So they didn't really want to pay for his likeness, is why I assumed immediately.
Yeah.
And so instead, they just made him in stop motion and gave him like the most horrific death. They're like, yeah, his plane crashed, and they're like, but so he died in a plane crash, and they were like, no, he survived the plane
That'd be
crash.
too good for him. Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, so he was eaten by sharks, and they're like, no, he washed up on shore. They're like, starved to death? And they're like, nah, land sharks got him.
I don't remember that part. You must have watched the director's cut.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that like I just blacked out immediately as the title screen rolled. Too excited, and
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I think I just made up the whole movie in my head. Not a real thing.
That's crazy because I watched the same movie you did, so maybe I was like in your dream while you were doing that.
Yeah,
And I've seen it twice, so
I've seen it like 3 times at this point. Came out on Max, so I was just like put it on the background. Great background movie. That tends to be what happens with
believe it.
experimental films like that.
yeah,
Just randomly look up and everything's black and white.
right.
You know what's not a good background movie?
Oppenheimer.
I was gonna say The Lighthouse.
That's pretty true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you? I watched that in IMAX recently, so I don't know.
Recently,
Yeah, it was in IMAX.
they like brought it back.
Yeah, it was
Oh my
crazy because they
gosh.
had black bars on the sides in IMAX. It's really fun.
That would be a lot of fun. I was saying that would be a horrible background movie because I was playing video games, and I had that on in the background, and I look up, and it's just Willem Dafoe, like, this scene at the top of the lighthouse.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, doing his thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
What I miss here? What's going on?
I was like, even though I knew the context, there still is no context really in the
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
and that's the fun of it.
I would agree. It's one of those movies where if you put it in the background, it kind of loses like half the charm, half of its whole vibe,
Yeah.
because you're not engrossed in it the whole time like you would be otherwise. Like a lot of dramas are the same way,
Yeah.
because you'll be like looking up and you'll see something happening. You're like, okay, cool, that character's there now, but you haven't gotten like the whole journey there, so it doesn't mean as much as it could.
Yeah, especially whenever they're doing like experimental shots or things like that. With the exception, I think, of like Poor Things. I think I could just, weirdly enough,
You could put that on mute and it would still be really
Yeah,
entertaining.
very deep. I couldn't do it with Roommates.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, you have. We
Roommates?
watched with roommates, like
Oh!
in a building where other
Oh.
people can feasibly walk in and see
Sure.
what I'm watching.
Yeah.
But just like as an art piece, like imagine just like a screen on the wall playing random scenes of
Yeah.
that.
It's like-
Selected scenes.
Sure, yeah. Cut like half the movie out. And
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, exact 2/3 of the movie out.
Sorry, yeah, that's more likely. It's like how Kanye West had that giant projector with Blade Runner 2049 on loop. This is years ago. I can reference this. It's funny.
Kanye West is such a man.
Such a man.
Yeah, another album coming out. Theoretically.
Doesn't he have one coming out every like 3 months? I feel like I was
He
gonna
has-
try and listen to his discography at one point, and I was like, I can't. There's no way.
Well, I don't know how much Kanye you've listened to in your life.
Maybe like 6 songs. I'll be honest.
Okay, well, here's what you need to do. Go in and start with the College Dropout. Start with the song Late.
Okay.
And the thing about that song is, like, the backbeat for it, the whole time is like, I'll be late for that. But what it's actually saying is he's gotten a sample of someone saying, I'm gonna fade away. And he's, like, cut it together and pinched it so that it sounds like I'll be late for that.
That's
It's like
cool.
such a cool song to listen to. That, then listen to all of Graduation.
Oh, so I don't listen to the entirety of College Dropout. I only listen to that song.
No, I think to really appreciate College Dropout, you have to come back to it later.
Okay.
This is the
There's
floor
like-
plan.
This is like that Star Wars thing where you start with episode 1 and then you do like every show or something like
Absolutely, exactly like that. I will say, Kanye West, bad man,
that. Yes, we all agree. Yep.
but genius. With songs, specifically with music.
Yes.
Everything else he's very wrong about.
In general, I would agree. Yes.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything.
especially lately.
George Bush. That may be the only good thing he's ever said about politics.
The
in general.
sad thing about Kanye West is that like, it really like came crashing down when his mom died.
Oh, that is
Like
sad.
that's whenever he stopped taking his schizophrenia medicine, and you know, take your medicine. Is what I say as someone who takes medicine.
I also take medicine,
Yeah.
but not for anything mental.
Not for
just
schizophrenia,
boring
but
stuff.
for other things.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good for you.
Yeah. Doctors
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
Yeah, science is real.
I agree.
Controversial
As two
opinions.
science people, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
both.
scientists talking
STEM.
about how real science is.
Yeah. We're experts.
We are. You did ask at the beginning of this though, what classes am I taking?
Yes,
So
I'm
let's talk about
curious.
it. I am taking engineering, statics, and mechanics. Now this is a fun class because it's not. I like that you're the one on camera.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want to swap places for this part?
no, I think Gus's face will have to be revealed
Okay,
for
yes.
episode 2.
I can probably figure it out from my eye reflections. It is 480p though that I'm
It-
recording this in 15 FPS, so
Perfect.
probably not.
It's experimental, guys.
Yes, this is all. It's gonna be edited also like an MLG montage. The audio will be untouched. It'll just have like Doritos bags flying around. Anyway, what classes are you taking?
Oh, engineering 209. So that is the study of things that are standing still.
Boring.
I know.
Is it actually interesting? Am I just not understanding how cool this is?
No, you kind of nailed the pin on the head right there. I
Okay.
mean, it's what keeps the system from moving.
Oh, okay. That's a
It's
little bit more
alright,
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Eventually we'll get to.
imagining just like potential energy. What is it?
Yeah.
Kind of. That's it.
No, that's Physics 1.
Okay.
I loved Physics 1. Physics 1 is still my favorite class so far. Maybe aside from writing.
Yeah.
I'm taking circuits. Cool class. Cool class.
Circuits.
Cool class, yeah.
How advanced is that? How advanced is that?
We will get around like op amps, integrated circuits, Thevenins, if you know anything about
I don't know what that is.
That's completely fair. It's just the idea that like you could reduce any system of circuits into just a power source and a resistance,
Oh,
and then you have a load as well.
that's cool.
So yeah, it's just that idea. That's around where it'll end as a class. So it's pretty cool.
Have you done a lot of circuit building?
I would say yeah, for my microcontrollers class, for my embedded machines class, a good amount of circuit building.
That's cool.
Eh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all right.
My dad loves building circuits and stuff.
Listen, building circuits is amazing. Building circuits for a class
Oh,
is laborious.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really. I mean, do you have like a very specific thing you have to do with it, or is it more
Well,
self-guided?
no, it's like here is a blueprint. Please build this.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you don't even get to like try your own thing.
No, not at all.
Ugh, it's like baking,
Yeah.
except like worse.
And then you have the cheapest materials possible. Now, I know what you're thinking. Like, we all love cheap materials.
Yeah,
Right.
AliExpress, good site.
No, maybe not that. But we all want, like, the Amazon liquidation store. You know, who wants to pay a whole cent for a wire?
That's
right?
why we're sponsored by Honey. Let's talk about Honey,
Oh my
our
gosh.
our sponsor of this podcast.
Please don't throw them to
Oh.
the sponsor segment.
See, we all love bees. Now, what do bees do? they make honey. And now we're sponsored. No, yeah, in case you were curious, we're not sponsored by the brand honey. We're sponsored by the concept of.
Wildflower honey.
Yes.
Support local.
Support your plants, your local plants.
I've actually
and
gotten
bees.
really into honey lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the
I
food.
have not been a fan of it in the past. Like I used
Really?
to not like honey, but I tried it kind of like frozen sort of,
Yeah.
and it's so good, like refrigerated with like crunchy stuff in there.
My go-to snack lately has been peanut butter and honey sandwich. I prefer it to jelly, actually.
Really,
Yeah.
I got my peanut butter jelly sandwich in my bag right now. It's pretty
As long as
crazy
you
stuff.
eat it mad close to the
directly
microphone.
into the microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, honey I in general have not loved just because I think it's so sweet, and I'm more of a savory type fella. But it is a good thing. I do like it now that I think about it, like have experience.
I've been doing a lot of honey lately. Peanut butter and honey sandwich. Oh, please hit the microphone as many times as possible.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry about it.
I apologize for my photos. That is gonna be torturous to listen back to, Houston.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You have this recording. You're the one that's gonna listen back to it. If either of us.
Go on.
I've kind of lost my. Oh, honey and coffee. I don't know if you drink coffee or not.
No.
But putting honey in there instead of like sugar, honey. As long as you get like a local farm's honey. And I know that sounds like pompous.
Is it genuinely better?
But it's like it's way better, and like it's not that local farm honey is like this godsend elixir that'll extend your life, right? It's that like commercial grade honey is just a disgusting product. It's like doesn't taste good.
Are the ingredients? Can you like see that they're worse? I don't know how it works.
It's just like basically seeing how it was transported. Like, did they freeze this? And like, if it was frozen, then it'll taste like doo doo.
Except for when it's frozen, which is really tasty.
Except for when it's frozen, I guess. According to Houston, something for me to try.
I like it chunky. It's really good. I think what happened is I was sick a couple times, and I realized, oh no, sore throat, and I was like, fine, I'll have some honey, and I took it out of the cupboard, and it was chunky, and I don't know why, but it was really good. I'm sorry for my voice.
I need everyone to know that honey doesn't really go bad
I have somehow managed to make honey go bad, and I think it's better like that.
unless it is open to the air. So that was probably like mold.
Best mold I've ever had.
I mean, people eat blue cheese, right? Someone had to try it. Are you a fan of blue cheese?
I'm not a huge cheese guy in general.
That's fair.
I've never had blue cheese though.
Well, the blue is just mold. So
Yeah, I want to try maggot cheese.
I actually for some reason maggots get me. Like, I would love to try a mosquito burger.
I have not heard of this.
So basically what it is, in places where there are dense populaces of mosquitoes, bugs have a lot of protein. They just catch a bunch of mosquitoes, squish them together, make a patty out of it. Mosquito
It's
burger.
a lot of mosquitoes.
It's a lot of mosquitoes.
Are there mosquito farms? Because that seems like the opposite of what we should be doing.
No, there are not mosquito farms, but it's like, hey, you just leave a collection net out, or just collect them over time in places.
Pesticides.
No, there's a lot. Yes, and just pesticides.
Do it. We're actually sponsored by pesticides.
Big Pharma's got my back. We can't say that in the same podcast that we said believe science.
Yeah, it's true. Never mind. Don't eat pesticides unless you really want to.
Yeah.
And
We-
have done all their research.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about sometimes.
I always know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I always want to experiment with food though. Like I would totally eat a mosquito burger
Yeah, absolutely.
or like maggot cheese. Maybe not because of the health risks that there are,
Yeah.
but if you are like almost 90% guaranteed, probably more than 90, like 99% guaranteed not to get sick or die by eating something, I'm interested.
Okay, so for death, I think that my threshold's like 98.
Yeah.
For sickness, I think that I'm good with like an 80%.
Honestly, like 65%, I'll be like, you know what? I'll have been able to say that I ate mosquito cheese or whatever, mosquito burgers.
No, the mosquito burger is actually really good for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of protein.
Is it good?
It's supposed to be. So the way it's prepared is that they just cook it,
Right.
like a lot, cook it till it's basically like blackened.
So it sounds bad.
It's not. It's not a delicacy.
Right. Okay. So this is like if you just have a ton of mosquitoes, you can technically make a mosquito burger and it'll be good for you.
Yeah, this is like will get you through the winter.
Cool. That's fun.
But there's a lot of things like that. I mean, I come from like a Creole Cajun cooking background because my mom and grandma are from Louisiana, and I didn't realize until I was making this one recipe like 2 months ago. The recipe, let me just explain it to you.
Okay.
Tortilla, honey, ham. Roll it up and eat
Oh.
that. I know.
That's
Whenever I said recipe, that's not what you're
No,
thinking
not at all.
And I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, this was made by someone with nothing else.
They had tortilla. They were like, wait, what can I even make? I don't have bread. They just have tortillas. They're like, okay, sure. They have this
Ham,
years old honey
yeah.
in their cupboard, the back of the cupboard.
Maybe it was a little crunchy the first time they had it.
Yeah, maybe. It probably would taste better that way.
But I was like, they had nothing to lose with this one. Like, all of these products were probably going bad
Yeah.
in the back of the pantry. Because if you think about it, like, a tortilla is already a cheap alternative to bread.
Yeah.
Ham is already, like, one of the cheaper meats to buy. And then honey is, like,
If you've got it, you're going to have it forever.
yeah. You buy a ball of honey, you use the first half of it, maybe. You forget that you have a ball of honey.
Yeah. Don't eat it for years. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, and then you get that one recipe that's like, it's either super posh and fancy,
Right.
or it's like
Ham,
impoverished.
honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, wait, do I have honey? Oh, I have this much honey. Is it still good? Of course it's still good. It's honey.
Yeah, it's honey, yeah.
Yeah.
What would happen to it? And I bring up the rich side of that because I also made honey glaze the other day where it was just like, it was basically lime and honey, like lime juice and honey.
No, that's it?
Like a lot of lime juice and a lot of honey.
What was it for?
And
like
then
ham?
it was for fish.
Hmm.
So it was a lot of lime juice, a lot of honey, and then hit it with allspice, just like very light amounts of allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon. I think I put a bit of cinnamon, a bit of cardamom, just like all of those things that are like, I wouldn't put these in a recipe. I wouldn't put these in a recipe if someone online didn't tell me that was good. Like,
That's fair.
I would never think.
Lime juice and honey seems like it's a very strange combination.
It was weirdly bitter.
Yeah, it sounds like what I would think it would be like.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't like suck the moisture out of your mouth bitter. I wasn't expecting it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Great time. It was great.
Speaking of your honey ham tortillas, I've been trying to get. When I was a kid, I come from a pretty poor family, sort of. We had just wraps, which is a tortilla, lunch meat, roll it up. That's
Yeah.
all. So,
Just add honey to that.
yeah, I mean, I hadn't thought of that, but I've been trying to get back into those because they seem like such an easy and cheap thing to
It's
do.
quick too.
Yeah, you can just like go,
It's
oh,
like-
I have 1 minute to make my food.
It's portable.
And then I go out the door and you're holding it. You just walk out the door with it. Nothing to worry about.
Lately, and this is
it's-
gonna come off as crazy, but I've been eating a lot of like rice,
Yeah.
like
rice
just
is
seasoned
good.
rice.
It's good stuff.
Like that's it. If I'm feeling boisterous, I will put like a fried egg on top.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I have yet to have good ramen or anything like that with fried eggs on it. it looks great. I just feel like it's probably like an hour of preparation, and ramen feels like a 5-minute food to me.
Yeah, I think that that's been like one of the greatest Western achievements is like the demoralization of ramen.
I guess, yeah, because in like Japan, I'm sure it's a delicacy. Is it
Yeah.
Japan or Korea?
So the funny thing
I guess
about
it's kind
all
of
of those
both.
Asian foods, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get canceled for this.
All those
So-
other people food.
So a lot of Eastern foods have like their own histories of like who specifically made that. But then whenever it translates to America, Americans don't want to know the difference between Vietnamese food and Chinese food.
Right.
So you'll like go to a Chinese food place and you'll order something that's Vietnamese and like they'll have it on the menu because it's something that you had somewhere once and you're like, all Eastern countries make the same food, but if you look regionally, like Vietnam is nowhere close to China,
Yeah.
and it makes almost no sense that they would be serving the same dish.
Yeah, there's a really good Vietnamese place near my house called it's called something. I don't remember what it is now.
Yeah,
but,
don't tell them where you live.
but it's they've got this menu that has just the most generic Asian food, but it's all really good anyway.
Yeah, I mean
But
it's good. Like
You're
don't
like,
get me
I really
wrong.
wish that I knew more Vietnamese foods. Like, I'm sure they have regional stuff that's incredible because
like-
every place has incredible food that we just don't.
Yeah, the strange thing about every single country is that they have something that's really good.
Yeah. Britain, what do they have? I'm sure they have something.
I'm sure that they do fish. Well,
Oh yeah, fish and chips. I mean, it's the most basic thing you can possibly make, but it's really good
Yeah.
anyway.
the thing is, like, Britain does good things. They do pastries really well.
Do they do anything best? Really? I feel like they're such a kind of a they steal everyone else's things and then they
That's what they
just-
do best. Is they steal.
And so they make it
your
okay
stuff.
because they've had slaves who do it for them and they figure out how to do it. But
Do they figure out how to do it?
they do it like, as good as white people can do it.
I'm not convinced that they tried terribly hard.
I would believe that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that we are running out of time
Are
for
we?
episode 1.
How
Yeah,
long is
my
this
next
recording?
my next class is in PU.
Me too, I think. Okay, so do you want to wrap it up or do you want to just...
We are at 27 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, not at all. 30-minute episode for pilot. We were setting up. All this material is terribly hard to use. Turns out.
Yeah.
We will be back next week with another episode. How do you feel about that?
Pretty silly.
Pretty silly. I think that this was a success. This
I
was,
think it was fun.
incredibly entertaining for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Next time I will not eat a sandwich into the microphone, likely.
Remember, if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please
Oh,
leave
dang.
us a good review.
Yeah, 5-star review.
If you are listening to us on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast. Again, we are the No Niche Podcast.
Is that our official title?
No Niche, yeah.
Okay. I think that's pretty common.
Oh, I'm sure. I bet there are 1,000 other podcasts with that name.
I mean, like, I think that's a common concept. I don't know if we can trademark just not having a topic.
Nah, we got it.
This is our thing? Okay,
This is
we're
our
the
thing.
only podcast to not have a topic.
Widespread
back.
appeal.
Yeah, welcome back to the only podcast that is off the rails. And off the rails is
Silly and
actually
goofy.
on
Yeah.
purpose.
Ooh,
Off the
just
rails is on the rails.
In the comment section, go ahead and put like topic ideas, things that you'd like to hear us talk about.
All millions of listeners, I'm sure there are.
Yeah. We are currently, I was actually looking at the charts the other day, and we are not terribly far off the Talk to a podcast.
Dang, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I'm sure by the time this goes out, there will be thousands of podcasts which have just completely collapsed and failed, and we're still here.
Yeah. Think about that.
Yeah.
All right. Signing off.
Wait. I've been Houston Moore. Wait, Houston, I'll bleep out my last name because I don't want this to be public.
I've been Gus, and we'll catch you next week on the No Niche Podcast.
Thank you.